Hello again, boys and girls. Mrs. Sadowski back to do a little more Love That Dog with you. Today, we're actually going to finish the book, Love That Dog. So we're going to see how the whole visit goes with Jack's favorite author. And then we're going to talk about a new kind of poetry for you, which is Cinquain poetry. All right, here we go. Love That Dog. The bulletin board looks like it is blooming words, with everybody's poems up there on all those colored sheets of paper, yellow, blue, pink, red, green. And the bookcase looks like it's sprouting books, all of them by Mr. Walter Dean Myers, lined up, looking back at us, waiting for Mr. Walter Dean Myers himself to come to our school, right into our classroom. Wow. So can you tell they're preparing for his visit? Poetry everywhere. And Jack's excited. May 29th. I can't sleep. I can't wait. I can't sleep. Are you sure you hid my poem that was inspired by Mr. Walter Dean Myers? I don't want to do anything to upset him. June 1st. Mr. Walter Dean Myers Day. I never in my whole life ever heard anybody who could talk like that, Mr. Walter Dean Myers. All of my blood in my veins was bubbling, and all of the thoughts in my head were buzzing, and I wanted to keep Mr. Walter Dean Myers at our school forever. Something tells me Jack really has enjoyed this visit. June 6th. Dear Mr. Walter Dean Myers, thank you 100 million times for leaving your work and your family and your things people have to do to come and visit us in our school, in our class. We hope you liked your visit. We think maybe you did, because you were smiling all over the place. And when you read your poems, you had the best voice, low and deep and friendly and warm, like it was reaching out and wrapping us all up in a big squeeze. And when you laughed, you had the best laugh I ever heard in my life, like it was coming from way down deep and bubbling up and rolling and tumbling out into the air. We hope we didn't ask you too many questions, but we thank you for answering every which one, and especially for saying that you would be flattered if someone used some of your words, and especially if they added a note that they were inspired by Mr. Walter Dean Myers. And it was nice of you to read all of our poems on the bulletin board. And I hope it didn't make you too sad when you read the one about my dog Sky getting smushed in the road. And I think you like the brownies too, right? Thank you for coming to see us, Mr. Walter Dean Myers. Inside this envelope is a poem using some of your words. I wrote it. It was inspired by you, Mr. Walter Dean Myers, from your #1 fan, Jack. So notice he hid his poem from the author who inspired him, because he wasn't sure if the author would be okay with it, but now it's okay. So are you guys ready to see Jack's poem? Here we go. Love That Dog, inspired by Walter Dean Myers, by Jack. Love that dog, like a bird loves to fly. I said I love that dog, like a bird loves to fly. Love to call him in the morning, love to call him, hey there, Sky. So a simple poem, very similar to the one the original author wrote, which was Love That Boy, and now it's Love That Dog. And that is the end, because we've already done the poems that Mrs. Stretchberry used. So boys and girls, we hope you enjoyed Love That Dog. We hope you enjoyed getting to see somebody's attitude about poetry. And did you notice how his total attitude changed about poetry as he went through learning about it, reading works of other poets, and finding poetry that he could connect to? because not all poetry is the same. Well, today we're going to give you another type of poetry. So we're going to expose you today to Cinquain poetry. Some people will say Cinquain because the QU. So a cinquain consists of 5 usually unrhymed lines containing respectively 2, 4, 6, 8, and 2 syllables. So this is another one of those poems where we need to pay attention to our syllable count. We did one of these last week as well when we were working on Tonka poetry. So today, notice, line 1 and line 2 will have 2 syllables. But the other lines in the middle are going to have a variety. We're going to go 4, 6, 8. So it's kind of like we're counting by even numbers. And then we go back to 2 at the end. So here's one for an example titled Mom, again by Jacqueline Ortiz. We're using her poems as our samples. This one starts out, my mom. Notice, 2 syllables, right? My mom. Now we need 4 syllables. Is so helpful. 6 syllables now. She is always loving. 8 syllables. She is so beautiful and kind. And then back to 2 syllables. Love her. So today, you're going to pick a topic. You're going to decide, what do you want your poem to be about? Do you want to write about your mom? Maybe you want to write about your dad. After all, Father's Day is coming up next month. Maybe you want to write about summer. Maybe, and hey, summer is 2 syllables. That would take up your first line, right? Maybe you want to write about the beach. Maybe you want to write about ice cream. Whatever it is that you want to write about, you're going to start off, again, 2 syllables, 4 syllables, 6 syllables, 8 syllables, and then back to 2. So you don't need this part right here when you do your poem. You just need to focus on the actual poem. So when you get onto your page, again, if you don't like green, change the color if you want, give it a title, and then you'll click into this box and go ahead and start adding your text. Please make sure you get rid of the words add text here, okay? So when you type, get rid of these words, start typing your poem, and remember, you can go back and forth. Oh, line 1, 2 syllables. Do your 2 syllables. Okay, line 2, what do I need? 4 syllables, okay? You can go back and forth as many times as you need to help you look and make sure you're doing the pattern. All right, boys and girls, can't wait to see what your Cinquain poems look like.